What's up guys, it's Tom here and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of you guys who celebrate these holidays, and I'm coming with you with a brilliant transfer news update videos because it looks like Liverpool scouts have been blown away by Milos Kerkez. He has been one of the best young left backs in the Premier League, and Mick Brown is reporting that Liverpool have been impressed by the performances of Kerkez and he is earmarked as a long-term left back transfer target for Liverpool. And they are potentially weighing up a January transfer move for his signature. And what a fantastic season Bournemouth are doing. They were tipped to just fight against relegation, but Iraola, their manager, is doing absolute wonders. They beat Man United 3-0 twice in a row, by the way, at Old Trafford in December, and they are in 5th place and they are dreaming of qualifying for Europe. Do you realize how small of a club Bournemouth is? They have one of the smallest stadiums in the Premier League and they have pretty low budget, but they are doing absolutely amazingly this season. I mean, Bournemouth are smaller than some 3rd division clubs like Birmingham City in League One. And Kerkez is catching the attention of many clubs, including Liverpool. And he has started every single game in the Premier League for Bournemouth. And the likes of Semenyo and Zabarni has been the subject of scouting missions so far. But Liverpool have been watching Milos Kerkez, who is also good friends with Kerkez-Szoboszlai, and they exchanged messages during this Christmas period. And Mick Brown said that the Kerkez, the left back, is attracting a lot of interest. Liverpool have been watching him closely because they are looking at potentially replacing Andy Robertson at some stage. And you've got players like Semenyo and the centre-back Zabarni both being looked at. They are an interesting bunch of players at Bournemouth and they are doing very well this season. They play really good football. Every single player works his socks off for the team. They are a testament to what I think a football team should be, and they remind me very much of Liverpool in terms of their work ethic, defending properly and attacking with speed. Bournemouth are a lesser example of that, but that's why their players are so highly rated. They've got a few very interesting players, young players who could go on to progress and become good options for some of these bigger teams. And that's the problem when a small team has a great season, that the big teams will pick their squad apart bit by bit and sign their best, most talented players. And Jamie Carragher says that Liverpool need to sign a left back and Kerkez would be the ideal candidate. And apparently we are already in talks with Kerkez and his representatives, and we opened transfer negotiations with Bournemouth. Bournemouth value Kerkez around 35 to 40 million pounds, which I think could be a reasonable transfer fee. And Jamie Carragher said Kerkez has been an absolute revelation at Bournemouth. The only reason why I mentioned Liverpool is the fact that Liverpool are probably looking at a player in that position, but the sporting director Richard Hughes bought him to Bournemouth and he's now the sporting director at Liverpool, of course. And Kerkez is very aggressive and he's a very attacking-minded fullback with pace, and he's very hard-working and he's really aggressive, bombing up and down the left side, and he has been superb since he has come into the Premier League, developing season after season, game after game, and he's only 21 years old, so he's the ideal age profile as well. Kerkez said he's certainly one to watch in the future, whether he stays or moves on, because he has made that much of an impact on Bournemouth. And of course Robertson had a very tough game against Fulham where he got a knock early on, he got sent off then. Maybe because of his injury, he wasn't fully 100% fit. And Robertson is having a tough time. It's a very unforgiving position, Kerkez said. It doesn't look like he's running back fully at Fulham. He has had a whack, then gingerly goes to control the ball, and then he gets a red card. He needs help. Liverpool haven't got any backup, and it's something they need to address in January. Well, now Tsimikas is back. So yes, we have backup for Robertson, and I think Tsimikas needs to rotate with Robertson regularly just to give Robertson a breather. So I would start Tsimikas against Leicester and maybe start Robertson against West Ham, depending on how Tsimikas does. But yeah, it's not ideal if Robertson had to play every 3 days. because of Tsimikas' injury, but at least he got a good rest against Southampton because of his red card, but he wouldn't have played anyway. I think Robertson had a very good game against Tottenham, not his best game of the season, but certainly he improved on his Fulham performance, which wasn't hard, by the way, because that was really down here. And you don't need to replace Robertson straight away. It's a case of gradually reducing Robertson's minutes and finding a superior long-term option. Kerkez is the ideal candidate. He would be perfect for this role, either in the January or in the summer transfer window, depending on whether Liverpool can negotiate a reasonable transfer fee with Bournemouth, which is in progress. But if Liverpool can't negotiate a reasonable transfer fee, it's not the end of the world if Kerkez only moves to Liverpool in the summer, because Robertson and Tsimikas can cover the left-back position for this season. But next season, if Kerkez signs, I would maybe move on Tsimikas and keep Robertson as kind of a backup, and whoever performs better will be Liverpool's number one left-back next season. And Kiefer McDonald is reporting that Liverpool are starting negotiations over a January transfer with Bournemouth for Milos Kerkez, because Bournemouth already started replacing Kerkez, because they are close to signing a left-back Julio Soler from Lanús of Argentina. He's a very talented 19-year-old left-back, and the fact that Bournemouth are signing a left-back means that they are probably bracing themselves and anticipating that Kerkez will be moved on. So Spanish journalist Uriel Lucht says that Bournemouth are in negotiations with Lanús for the transfer of the 19-year-old left-back Soler. And also, Kerkez sent Szoboszlai a message after his absolutely brilliant performance against Tottenham. Szoboszlai captioned his Instagram post, "Merry Xmas Reds," which Kerkez replied, "Magic my brother," which means my brother. Szoboszlai then of course liked his comment, and they have a very close friendship because they are both playing for the Hungary national team. You can see the post here, and I think the second comment is from Milos Kerkez. And I think Szoboszlai's best game in the Liverpool shirt came against Tottenham. It was an absolute joy to watch, and I'm so happy as a Hungarian. It makes me so proud that a fellow countryman of mine is doing so well for Liverpool. I think Tsimikas would like to move on sooner or later, because his minutes are always limited, because Robertson was always going to be first choice left back this season. But seeing Robertson's performances, it's glaringly obvious that Liverpool need to sign a left back. So Kerkez, I think, would be an ideal replacement. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let's talk about Mo Salah, who's putting in a Ballon d'Or season. And not only is he now the 4th top goal scorer in Liverpool's history, he is now in the top 10 all-time assist charts of the Premier League history, which is absolutely incredible, because he has just 279 games as a right winger, but he already has 80 assists. And as you can see, if he stays another 2 or 3 seasons, he can certainly get to maybe 3rd, 4th, or even 2nd place. Kevin De Bruyne's numbers are pretty insane. He played less games than Salah, but has 114 assists, which is 34 more assists than Salah, which is absolutely insane. But what is even more impressive is that Salah has a goal or an assist every 59 minutes. Thierry Henry is the only one close to this in a whole full season with 61 minutes. And Salah also has the most clutch goal involvements too, with 12 goals or assists in clutch moments, which means that either, equalizing or taking the lead. And right now, Mo Salah is the best player in the world. And as you can see, Luis Diaz is 2nd in goal involvements, Gakpo is 3rd, but Jota in terms of minutes is actually 2nd, just in 4th in total, because Jota played not that many games this season. And what is also absolutely mind-blowing to me is that Mo Salah is 2nd in terms of career goals and assists against other big 6 opposition. So Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Tottenham and Manchester City. So against these teams, Mo Salah has 68 goal involvements in just 75 games. That is absolutely mind-blowing. Only Shearer has more, but Shearer played 129 matches against the traditional top 6. and he has 75 goal involvement. So Salah, if he's even this season, he can actually match Shearer or get ahead of him. But if hopefully he will sign a new 2-year contract, then he will be top of this list. And look at the others: Wayne Rooney, Ryan Giggs, Jamie Vardy, and even Aguero have a lot less goal contributions and a lot less games. So Aguero has the same amount of games, but he only has 52 goal involvements. And I also wanted to analyze Liverpool's defensive record, which is worrying on the surface, because conceding 8 goals in 3 Premier League games is not what you want to see. Liverpool conceded literally half of their Premier League goals in the last 3 games. So that means that in the first 13 games we conceded as many goals, 8 goals, than in the last 3, which is a very big anomaly. So we want to take a look at how this happened. And of course, it was mitigating circumstances. Konaté's very unlucky injury against Real Madrid meant that Jero Kwanzaa had to start at an unfamiliar right back position, and Joe Gomez also wasn't fully match sharp, maybe against Newcastle. That's why Liverpool conceded 3 goals and an individual error by Kevin Kelleher. Andy Robertson was red carded against Fulham after 70 minutes, so that's why Liverpool probably conceded the second Fulham goal, because it's almost inevitable that you can keep the opposition out for like 75-80 minutes with 10 men. And at Tottenham, Liverpool only conceded 1 goal when we were 5-1 up until that point, and Liverpool also conceded only 0.3 xG. But then Liverpool stopped playing for 20 minutes, and you can't really do that in the Premier League. But I also checked that in garbage time, if you want to call it that, Tottenham created around 1 xG in the second half against Liverpool. So yeah, the majority of those came in when Liverpool already won the game pretty much. So since Konaté injured, you can't hide the fact that Liverpool defensively haven't been that great. 4 games, 8 goals conceded. But Liverpool have only been given up 5 big chances, and 3 of those were in garbage time when a game was won. For example, against Tottenham, we already talked about that. So basically 2 big clutch chances in 4 games is not a disaster defensively. It's just that the opposition scored like a lot of their chances compared to previously. So it's a little random that Liverpool conceded so many goals lately, but hopefully with Konaté inching back to maybe come back against Man United, I think that's the most likely scenario, that Konaté will be back for that game. Hopefully Liverpool's defensive solidity will be back. And I mean, against Tottenham, we looked solid for like 60-65 minutes until, you know, it was 5-1 and the Liverpool players just took a breather. And you can't run full throttle for 95 minutes. You will get a lot of injuries. Look at Tottenham. They are running all the time forward, and they have very, very big injury crisis. 7 or 8 players injured. Liverpool's injuries have eased up a little bit, thankfully. Conor Bradley and Konaté will be back at the start of the new year. So this Leicester and West Ham game are very, very important, because if we could win those 2, and we should win those 2, then we can attack the January fixture list with a fully fit squad. And historically, traditionally, under Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool sometimes struggled the most in January and February, when the toll of the first half of the season, you know, exerted a lot of out of the players, and we got huge injury issues sometimes in January and February. Hopefully, with Arne Slot's different tactics, it will change, and hopefully Liverpool can keep on being very consistent and successful, winning a lot of games in January, because yeah, Liverpool need to keep this gap of 7-point gap ahead of Chelsea, and Arsenal are 9 points behind Liverpool if we win our game in hand, of course. So let's wait and see what happens, but I'm really looking forward to the Leicester game. Hopefully Liverpool can smash Leicester and then go from strength to strength, but our momentum is definitely back after the Tottenham game, so really looking forward to the rest of the fixtures. And I wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and just a wonderful end to 2024, and I will keep making great videos for you guys. Thanks for watching, see you later, goodbye.